I want to be part of the people that make meaning.
I don't need permission. We don't have to try to fit someone else's expectations of being enough. I just get to choose to be human.
You're so beautiful.
Open up and explore who you want to be without the expectations of, because of your gender, this is who you have to be.
And getting at that core of who are you? Who do you want to be?
Talk to a woman and ask her if it spoke to her and why, and just listen. Just listen and learn.
It's all of the women in her life who impacted her life and showing Barbie, this is what your life can be.
And it's not all positive, but it's beautiful.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, viewer.
And welcome
Barbie.
again to Cinema Therapy. I'm actually Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. Joining me today, as always,
I'm Alan.
Yes.
All Ken's clothes fit me.
that's good enough. And our producer, Megan, who is our resident expert on all things womanhood and feminism and Barbie.
And
right?
Barbie. Huge Barbie fan.
I think I'm the only one of the three of us that ever played with Barbies as a child, so...
Accurate. I did not.
I had 3 sisters, and I was a curious lad, and we'll leave it at that. Anyways.
Nothing wrong with that.
So today we're going to be doing a psychology of a hero on Greta Gerwig's Barbie and her journey from naivety to understanding what the real world is and how it works. And we'll have a little bit of feminism sprinkled in along the way, but you're more qualified than we are. We're here to support.
We're allies.
Without further ado, let's dive in. Ryan Gosling's face.
The performance he's giving in the middle of these dance numbers.
Yes.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
And her, they're both really committing to it.
What's up, Ken?
He's so mad that he's not next to her. His like younger Star Search days are really coming through.
Or Mickey
Road
Mouse
Show.
Club.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they're all like...
They're so good. The whole cast is just dynamite.
The sparkling
Simu.
Flip like that, Ken?
What? This is a real rager, Barbie. Thanks, Barbie. Gosh, this night is just perfect. It's perfectly perfect.
So when Ken screams what, I love that they don't have a mic on him, they use the big room mic.
And so is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and so is the day after tomorrow, and even Wednesdays, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
Just her face.
I don't know why I just said that.
I'm just dying to dance.
Well, and the way her voice completely changes when she says, I don't know why I just said that.
Well, she like swallows it, and then the existential crisis while trying to fake not having one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Margot Robbie is such a talented actress, and it gets lost because she's so beautiful.
Which the film makes a joke about.
Which the narrator makes a joke about in Helen Mirren's perfect voice.
I'm not stereotypical Barbie pretty.
Note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
Megan, you played with Barbies growing up. Were your Barbies empowered?
Sure. Most of my Barbies were decapitated because
your little sister.
Because my little sister snapped all the heads off. Not her Barbies, just the rest of ours.
Melanie.
So
That's like some mafia stuff, though. Like, don't mess with me, I'll rip the heads off your Barbies.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay, that's intense.
Toddlers are terrorists, so
We are from the planet Duplan. We are here to destroy you.
Ken had to learn that he wasn't just an accessory to Barbie. But that doesn't mean he couldn't still accessorize.
And good news for me, all of Ken's accessories fit me. Like this watch that I got from Holzkern. Holzkern has watches, jewelry, and lots of other accessories for men and women with tons of unique designs. Their products are made with beautiful natural materials, like the wooden inlay in this ring And in this watch, I got an intergalactic watch with lead wood and marble, so it is a unique piece because of the grain of the wood and the marbling of the stone. It feels like I'm wearing a cathedral on my wrist because it's got marble and wood. But in a good way, it's not like my hand is buried underneath a giant building. I also got a couple of gifts for my wife, a necklace with pearls on it because she's my pearl.
I picked out the Singapore watch for myself because I love the interplay of the navy blues and the light blues, and honestly, it just makes me feel fancy. For my wife, I got the Ivy Burr walnut handbag because seriously, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. For one of my daughters, I got the nacre and silver visual necklace because it's so sparkly and so shiny and so her, and it made her bounce with joy when she got it.
Holzkern offers a 24-month warranty and a 24-day right of return. You can just send it back. They offer free shipping to the US and most EU countries within 2 to 5 days, no customs fees or added costs on delivery. How nice. If you're looking to up your fashion accessory game with something classier than a neon visor and a sweatband, or you're looking for a gorgeous and unique gift for a loved one this holiday season, check out Holzkern. Use the link below or go to world.holzkern.com/cinematherapy and use code CINEMA15 to get 15% off of your order today. Or tomorrow, but if you do it today, you'll remember better. Holzkern, the perfect accessory to tell your loved one they're more than just an accessory.
You could do an entire collegiate course on this film, and I'm not exaggerating. So
yeah.
there's no way this episode is going to cover everything that you, the viewers, are going to want us to cover. We're just going to do our best here to look at. She's part of this play world, right? And I love this idea of treating her existence kind of like Toy Story, like it's real.
We've established this wonderful magical world, particularly with the production design and the costuming. I mean, the casting is great and the script is great and all of that stuff, but what really sells this world is the production design and costuming is flawless. It feels like being inside Barbie land.
Yeah.
It's incredible, where everything is great and it's always a party and everything's wonderful and we've solved every problem for all girls except intrusive thoughts of death.
Well, and I love too that like you see she has this thought and then she realizes like, what have I done? This doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of letting herself process that thought or have that thought or deal with it in any way, she covers it up.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't like how it makes everyone else react.
Yeah.
And she has to maintain that paradise that they live in.
Yeah,
right?
that veneer.
Yeah.
Good night, Barbies. I'm definitely not thinking about death anymore.
We fixed everything so that all women in the real world can be happy and powerful.
I don't know, but if you ask me, you had something to do with this too.
Me?
Takes two to rip a portal.
I can't have.
Our daughter wants to be weird Barbie for Halloween.
Exactly as it is.
Well, be that as it may, the two of you are becoming inextricably intertwined. And you gotta help her to help yourself.
Help this little girl in the real world.
So should I? Ooh!
So, what'll it be then? You can go back to your regular life and forget any of this ever happened? Or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
We'll do a redo. You're supposed to want to know.
I don't.
Babe, listen. You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
I'm not adventure Barbie. I'm stereotypical Barbie. I'm like the Barbie you think of when someone says, "Think of a Barbie." That's me.
I'm bummed. You're a bummer. It's a bummer.
Okay, I'm ready to forget now.
No, you're doing
Kate
this
McKinnon.
wrong. I just gave you a choice so you could feel some sense of control.
So there is no option one?
No, you have to fix the rip yourself. Don't blame me, blame Mattel. They make the rules. Fine, get cellulite. I don't care.
No. Okay. Send me through the portal.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I love how just blatantly they lean into the hero's journey in this movie. Like, this is the call, right?
Right.
She refuses the call.
She refuses the call, but she's forced to go on this journey to leave her known world and go through this journey and then come back.
Go to a different world, become the master of the other world, like read any description of the hero's journey and then just plot Barbie onto it and it's one for one.
And psychologically, I think of our natural resistance to change. We like for things to be comfortable and stay the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's a truism that generally speaking for most people, we don't change until the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of changing.
Yep.
There are some people who thrive on change, and those people are interesting. But they enjoy a good challenge. And I'm like, okay, you do you. But in Barbie's case, the pain's going to be too great to stay. The threat of cellulite.
No!
And of all the things falling apart, and of
and
ruining
flat feet,
and ruining this little girl's life, and that is so. And that's the thing in therapy is people come to therapy because they generally want help in changing their circumstances, and what they need to do is change themselves. And the faster they can get there, the more effective therapy is, and it doesn't take as long.
This is the lowest I've ever been, emotionally and physically.
Okay, kids, it's time to run out and get the new Depression Barbie. She wears sweatpants all day and night. She spent 7 hours today on Instagram looking at her estranged best friend's engagement photos while eating a family-sized bag of Starbursts. And now, joy is killing her. And she's going to watch the BBC's Pride and Prejudice for the 7th time until she falls asleep.
The tradition of our families is such that any alliance between the classes be regarded as a highly reprehensible connection.
Anxiety, panic attacks, and OCD sold separately.
The Barbie that was, you can be anything, including depressed. I love that the Barbie that they have slammed face down was wearing the same outfit.
And it was stereotypical Barbie.
Yes, it was stereotypical Barbie that was wearing the same outfit as when she's like, this is the lowest I've ever been.
I just want to take a moment to appreciate, this is two giant, risk-averse corporations, Mattel and Warner Brothers, that went, F it. You want to have a Depression Barbie ad that has Mattel branding on it?
Yes.
And Barbie crying? And you're going to put this in the middle of our $100 million Warner Brothers investment? Sure.
How? How does that
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, this is our most valuable brand being distributed by one of the most valuable movie brands in the world, and they just went like, I don't know.
That's because they're dream houses, mother.
What did this film mean to you, and why do you feel like it had such legs at the box office?
Anatomically incorrectly long legs.
It is doing something that summer blockbusters have not ever done, and it is a movie by women, about women, and for women.
Yeah.
In a way that even Wonder Woman was not. You know,
Right.
Wonder Woman was a female superhero, but if you look at all of the driving force behind Barbie, it was women. It was made by women, and it was made with women in mind, specifically.
Yeah.
In a way that most movies just aren't.
Yeah. I'm not sitting here saying men have it easy or men don't have problems. What I am saying is there's something unique about the female experience that this film is calling out. And for a lot of women, it leads to depression, because I've worked with a lot of them in my office. And equality and opportunity is good for women. It's also good for men.
Ken is depressed too.
Yes, he is.
For the reasons that women in the real world are depressed.
Yes, and that's such a clever reversal.
Beautiful way to show it.
To have the men experiencing it.
And honestly, I think that's one of the reasons that so many women resonated with it, is because they were able to see in a very comedic but cathartic way.
Yeah.
Of like, oh.
Yeah.
Now everyone else gets to
Yeah.
see what it's actually like. That's what actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? We gotta go. We have to go back. Barbieland needs saving. Barbie needs saving. Wait, you hate Barbie! But you don't. You've always believed in what she could be.
Yeah, well, I was wrong. Barbie gave up. The Kens won.
You have to try. Even if you can't make it perfect, you can make it better.
I can't make anything better. I'm the one who ruined Barbieland with my stupid drawings in the first
They're
place.
not stupid. They're amazing.
You like my drawings?
I love her reaction there.
And dark and crazy. Everything you pretend not to be.
I am. I'm weird and I'm dark and I'm crazy.
There's such perfect casting.
And just that cut from I'm weird and I'm dark and I'm crazy to Alan murdering a guy.
Because Alan seems so benign and innocent too, like her, right? And they're weird and dark and crazy.
This is so adorable.
And their faces when they do it, like they don't even look, they don't change expression. Like they just
know how to do it because they've done it so long. And then Alan's just like, I'm never getting out of here. It's just perfect Michael Cera.
I love the line, you can't make it perfect, but you can make it better.
Yes.
And that dichotomy speaks to how often we just kind of give up because we're never going to reach this ideal that we're striving for. Mm-hmm. And we go into what we call in therapy all or nothing thinking or black and white thinking, right? Instead of, okay, well, I may reach for the sun and get the stars. Actually, the stars are further away, but you follow.
Yay, space!
You don't get what you're reaching for, but by virtue of reaching for it, you go further and do more than you ever would have done.
Yeah.
And the key is making peace with that and being happy with what you accomplish and who you've become instead of getting hung up on the expectations or the ideals. And so much of this film is a pushback against idealism. Not the concept of having ideals, but the concept of being so rigidly married to them that if you don't achieve them, you're miserable and unhappy. Mm-hmm. This whole experience, this whole journey for Barbie is arriving at, I'm imperfect, and that's beautiful. And I love that. For Barbie and for the real life mother-daughter duo that she encounters.
Yeah, well, and I love that we just we have an inverse hero's journey for Barbie and Gloria, right? They both have to leave their own world and go into the other one's world. Yeah. And in the process of doing that, they help each other accept who they actually are.
Yeah.
Right? Like Gloria comes to the acceptance of, I am weird and dark and crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a thing she was trying to sort of hide and suppress. And she's able to start to accept that side of herself through trying to save Barbieland and all of those things.
Yeah. And I think other people accepting us never is a replacement for us accepting ourselves, but it can be a catalyst. Because when her daughter effectively gave her not only permission, but praise for it, you could see on her face like, oh, this whole thing that I've been, as you said, trying to suppress is actually my superpower, right? And for Alan, it's being a murderer.
This weird quirk I tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the...
That's Barbie, of course. She's not dead, she's just having an existential crisis.
Okay, come on. Hey.
I love how she makes her sit up and she's just completely rigid, like an actual Barbie doll.
Yeah. I'm not pretty anymore.
It's like when Howell has an existential crisis because he's not beautiful.
Stereotypical Barbie, pretty.
Note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary. But somehow we're always doing it wrong. I'm just so tired.
We
watching myself.
trimmed a bit of this speech.
Single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll, just representing a woman, then I don't even know.
Yeah, there's a reason. So we trimmed a bunch of the speech out because it's long and fantastic and perfect, but
we can't talk over it because
we can't talk over it, and we would probably get a copyright claim.
Our clips can only be so long if we're not talking. Yeah.
Exactly. But the point that Gloria makes, and it is a beautiful point, is that there are impossible expectations. I do not understand how, as a human being, you can watch that scene and not just break down in tears and feel for the people who feel that way, which is like half of people.
Yeah.
Giving a voice and putting to words the things so many of us have thought and felt and experienced.
Yeah.
All of the contradictory expectations, all of the ways that we're told we're not enough.
Yeah.
Or too much, right? And by being too much, it's not enough. If you're too ambitious, too whatever, then you're not enough because you're not fitting the expectation, right? It's just this feeling that no matter what you do, it isn't enough because it's not what other people expect of you.
Yeah.
Right? That in order to be of value, you have to fit other people's expectations rather than being true to yourself.
Yeah. And I am going to issue a challenge to men who are watching this. The reason in my mind this movie made so much box office, obviously you could break down a percentage is the Barbie brand, a percentage is, you know, people excited to see Ryan Gosling being silly, a percentage is, to me, in my mind, a huge chunk of it, probably the largest chunk, is women going back for that moment. To feel that validation, to feel seen, to feel heard. And if you are a man who values relationships with women, not just romantic, with your daughters, with your friends, with your family, with your peers, with your coworkers, watch this movie, watch this scene, and talk to a woman and ask her if it spoke to her and why, and just listen and learn. And you'll be ahead of the curve.
I just don't know who I am without you.
You're Ken.
But it's Barbie and Ken. There is no just Ken. That's why I was created. I only exist within the warmth of your gaze. Without it, I'm just another blonde guy who can't do flips.
Maybe it's time to discover who Ken is.
Okay, I think I get it now.
No. This isn't the answer. Ken, you have to figure out who you are without me.
Why?
You're not your girlfriend. You're not your house. You're not your mink.
Beach?
Nope, you're not even Beach. Maybe all the things that you thought made you you aren't really you.
You can see her realizing it's true about herself as well.
Maybe it's Barbie and it's Ken.
Ken.
Ken
is me?
Yes.
Ken is me.
And I'm Barbie.
Okay, Ryan Gosling. You did it. I love geese now.
Retroactively? Oh, wow, that's powerful.
So many romantic geese. How many beautiful geese? Thrilled about it. Sometimes you want to run out in the rain with geese and make out with him.
Well, and more than make out.
Ryan Gosling is doing the funniest I've ever seen. And Margot Robbie is being the greatest scene partner in history because she understood as soon as she saw what Ryan Gosling was doing, she was like, okay, I am carrying the emotional core of this scene, but he is stealing it, and that's okay.
Yeah, she has to anchor it.
So, Ryan Gosling's performance in this scene is absolutely incredible, but so is Margot Robbie's because she is delivering all of the emotional depth and the core that keeps you in the moment when Ryan Gosling is being insane.
Yeah.
He is where she was at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
Basically. She's like, I've been there. I've been through this existential crisis. I'm still working through it. And you can see her working through it in the scene. Mm-hmm. But he's at the very beginning of it.
He's just starting his hero's journey.
Right. And so it's just this hilarious over-the-top comedy for him, whereas she's already started to come around to accepting the reality of who she is. And you can see that playing out for both of them in that scene.
This is as good for men as it is for women.
Yes.
Right? To be able to open up and explore who you want to be without the expectations of, because of your gender, this is who you have to be.
And getting at that core of who are you? Who do you want to be? Strip all of those other things away.
Yeah. To be fair, I want to be Beach.
Except Alan's job isn't Beach. That's Ken's job.
Your job is to wear my clothes.
They all fit me. The pants don't.
Not the pants. When I was talking about long legs, I was actually talking about these ones.
I'm not anatomically correct.
Oh my gosh.
Just wait till you see my flesh-colored mound.
Oh!
I have all the genitals.
I want to be a part of the people that make meaning not the thing that's made. I want to do the imagining. I don't want to be the idea. Does that make sense?
It's her really discovering who she wants to be.
Ask for or even want. I can just... It's something that I just discover I am.
I can't in good conscience let you take this leap without you knowing what it means. Take my hands. Now, close your eyes. Now, feel.
I used to float, now I just fall down.
Yes.
Aw.
Thanks, Barbie.
I love that that is her moment of literal self-actualization. She realizes, I don't need permission. I don't need anyone else. I just get to choose to be human.
Yeah.
So in this sense, it's literal self-actualization because she just chooses to become real. We get to choose. We don't have to ask. We don't have to try to fit someone else's expectations of being enough. She chooses, I want to be the one coming up with the ideas. And she gets to.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, beautiful filmmaking to go from a movie that is aggressively production designed in the real world too. Everything is like the Mattel corporate offices are, you know, a dystopian nightmare fantasy of what corporate offices
Which
are.
props to Mattel for signing off on that.
Yeah. Again, a corporation was like, sure, make us look like that. Great. But to go from all of that in this movie to a blank white void that has colored lights drifting in and out with this beautiful, emotional, you know, breathy female voice lilting over the top.
Well, and we didn't include it because we trimmed the scene down, but
Her
Ruth.
montage of Ruth giving her, this is what life is like.
Yeah. All of the memories are of women.
Yeah, they are.
It's all of her daughter, all of the women in her life who impacted her life and showing Barbie, this is what your life can be.
Yeah, and it's not all positive. But it's beautiful.
Stop it, you're making me cry. I can't watch other people cry and not cry. So.
Yeah.
I can't watch anything and not cry.
I honestly don't have anything to add beyond what you did. I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
Other than just to thank Greta Gerwig and company and Margot Robbie and everyone involved for making this. This speaks to very deeply to a lot of people who are very dear to me. And to me, it speaks personally to who I want to be, which is someone who is self-actualized and someone who knows who they are and what they want to do in the world. Barbie is for everyone, so...
In the same way that Scott Pilgrim is for 20-somethings in 2009, but it's for everyone.
Not in the same way. No,
the exact same way.
Okay. So until next time, you are Knuff.
Just another blonde guy who can't do flips.
Do you ever think about dying?
And
watch movies.
Barbie.
Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
And Ken.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye, Alan.
Bye, Ken.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye, Ken.
Yay! That was fun.
This episode was brought to you by patrons people like
Sherry Umstead,
Katrina Hall,
Black Knight 1945,
Stusiak,
and Lean with 2 E's.
All right.
Thanks, Barbies.
Thanks, Barbie.
Thanks, Barbie.